In the fast-changing landscape of American politics, one phrase has captured national attention: Project 2025. Depending on who you ask, it's either a bold vision to streamline government or a chilling blueprint to reshape democracy itself. But what exactly is Project 2025, and why has it become one of the most talked about plans in modern U.S. politics? Today, we're breaking it down: the history, the ideas, the people behind it, and what it could mean for America's future. Project 2025 is a policy roadmap created by a coalition of conservative think tanks led by the Heritage Foundation, one of the oldest and most influential policy groups in Washington, D.C. The project's official goal is to prepare for the next conservative administration, whoever the president might be, by outlining how to reform the federal government from day one. The idea isn't new. Every incoming president comes with a transition plan, but this one stands out for its size, ambition, and timing. It's not just a few policy notes, it's a 900-page manual that touches nearly every part of American governance. At its core, Project 2025 argues that the federal government has become too large, too bureaucratic, and too distant from the people it serves. Its authors believe that decades of red tape and independent agencies have slowed progress and weakened the president's ability to lead. The plan proposes to bring more decision-making power back to elected leaders rather than unelected officials. Supporters say it's about restoring accountability, making sure government reflects the will of the voters. Critics, however, warn that concentrating power in the executive branch could erode checks and balances, the same system designed by the Founding Fathers to prevent any one branch from dominating the others. The project is built around 4 pillars: a policy agenda, a personnel database, training programs for future political appointees, and a 180-day action plan for the first months of a new administration. These elements are designed to ensure that a conservative government can act quickly without the usual delays of transition. One of the more striking features is the Presidential Personnel Database, which seeks to identify and train thousands of potential appointees who share the project's principles. In simple terms, it's a plan not only for policy, but for people, a ready-made team that could step into power almost immediately after an election. For supporters, this level of preparation is exactly what's been missing from past transitions. They argue that Democrats have long benefited from strong institutional networks, while Republicans have often entered office unprepared to fill key roles or manage complex agencies. By contrast, Project 2025 aims to ensure continuity, discipline, and loyalty across government ranks. But opponents see something else: a plan that could politicize the civil service and weaken the independence of institutions like the Department of Justice, the Environmental Protection Agency, and even public broadcasting. Public reaction to Project 2025 exploded in mid-2024 as more media outlets and creators began discussing it online. The debate grew when political figures were asked about their ties to the project. While some conservative leaders openly supported its goals, others distanced themselves, emphasizing that it's not an official campaign document, but a public policy resource. Still, its association with major conservative groups and past administration officials has fueled speculation about how much influence it could hold in a future presidency. It's also important to understand the history behind this movement. The Heritage Foundation, founded in 1973, played a key role in shaping Ronald Reagan's policies during the 1980s. Back then, its Mandate for Leadership handbook provided the incoming Reagan team with policy recommendations, many of which were adopted. Project 2025 follows that same tradition, updated for a new political era defined by social media, populism, and deep polarization. Whether one agrees or disagrees, the project reflects a growing belief that the federal bureaucracy has too much control and that structural reform is necessary for change to happen. However, the controversy lies not only in what the project proposes, but how it might be implemented. The document suggests that the president should assert more authority over independent agencies, bodies that were intentionally designed to operate outside direct political control. Legal experts note that such moves would likely face court challenges as they touch the delicate balance of power between the executive branch and Congress. This is where the national conversation gets more complex. For some, Project 2025 is about efficiency. For others, it's about ideology and power. Beyond politics, the project has sparked broader questions about the future of American democracy. What does reform mean in a country so divided? Can government truly become smaller and smarter, or is that just a slogan repeated every election cycle? And how do citizens ensure that any plan, conservative or liberal, serves the people, not just the parties? These are the questions Project 2025 forces everyone to consider. Supporters point to issues like border control, economic policy, and national security as areas where stronger leadership could make the government more responsive. Critics counter that reducing oversight and independence could open the door to misuse of power. Both sides agree on one thing: the stakes are enormous. The project's vision would reshape not just how the government operates, but how Americans experience it in their daily lives, from social services to environmental policy to digital regulation. What makes Project 2025 so compelling and so controversial is that it represents two competing visions of America's future. One sees a government streamlined and re-energized by clear leadership. The other fears an erosion of long-standing safeguards that protect freedom and fairness. Between these visions lies a debate that's as old as the nation itself. How much power should government have, and who should control it? As the 2025 political season unfolds, one thing is clear: Project 2025 isn't just a policy document. It is a mirror reflecting America's deepest divisions and its ongoing struggle to define what democracy should look like in the 21st century. Whether it becomes a historical footnote or a defining playbook will depend not only on politicians but on voters, the people who ultimately decide which vision of government they want to live under. And that's why understanding Project 2025 matters. It's not about fear or conspiracy, but about awareness, knowing how ideas become policies and how policies shape lives. Because in the end, democracy isn't something that exists on paper. It's something built, debated, and renewed by the choices of its citizens.